obviously all about nutrition, and we've got a lovely lunch to have as well. So for those of you who haven't been, our first cafe in March was really a facilitation session. So we just we're trying to ascertain what's in Aberdeen, what's not in Aberdeen, what people would like to see and hear about menopause, and just get the word out there. So from that, we basically established our next 5 sessions. So they have different themes. So this month is obviously nutrition. So we've got the lovely Nonye here who's going to do a presentation for us. So we do usually start with an icebreaker, but we've got quite a lot of content to get through today, so we're just going to get straight into it. Nonye's going to do a presentation. We're then going to have our chef come out and just explain a little bit about the food and the ingredients he's used. Then we're going to have our lunch, which will be lovely, and then we're going to end with a nice nutritional game from Nonye as well. Obviously at the end we still have that hour as well. If anyone wants to stay and network, that's absolutely fine. And just for July, so it will be symptoms and therapy that we're going to be kind of looking at, and it's going to be on the 14th of July for our event, but just so you know. Okay, Nonye, are you ready?
My name is Nonye Advaza, and I'm the Health Improvement Officer for within Aberdeen Health and Social Care Partnership, Public Health and Wellbeing team. My remit is around food and health. I have a background in nutrition. So today we'll be talking about healthy eating and menopause. I know there's an icebreaker on the table, just a temperature check for us to kind of get us started with this conversation. So next slide, please. So just a wee disclaimer. All the information I'm going to provide today will be based on the national recommendation for healthy eating. That's the Eat Well Guide. Some of you must have heard about it or not. And also resources from the British Nutrition Foundation. So anyone with special dietary requirements or medical needs might want to check with a registered dietitian to adapt the information that you get today. Hope that's clear, just making that clear. Yeah, and a huge part of my role is to provide these healthy eating messages within the community and also get people to know how they can get involved around food-related activities, practical skills, and all of that. And for today, we aim to cover diet and bone health, diet and heart health, understanding the portion-wise approach to a healthy diet, and also understanding the proportions in which different groups of foods are needed in order to have a well-balanced diet. So pretty much what you should be eating to support your bone health and your heart health, and the portion. Healthy eating is important, but it's also important to have that balance. We don't want to overeat or undereat. So hopefully we should be able to cover that today. Next slide. Okay, so this is a very interesting slide. I just put the slide here for us to get a clear, understanding of why we are doing this. So on your left, you can see that this is a graphical representation of our journey, a woman's journey from childhood to old age, and you can see that the hormonal changes, the hormonal levels change as we, I don't want to use the word go down, but yeah. So and this slide very I picked something very interesting about it when I saw that at ages between age 10, I saw that the hormonal levels are quite high, and I'm like, okay, I have to be very patient with my 10 years old. So you see what's happening there, and from your mid-40s and midlife, mid-adulthood, your hormonal levels are going down, and that explains some of the physiological changes that you experience, like the symptoms of menopause. And you tend to have increased risks to lifestyle-related diseases like hypertension, obesity, osteoporosis, arthritis, even heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. So, this is it's not a death sentence. Evidence have shown that with good diet and physical activities, you can support and reduce your symptoms. So it's not a death sentence. So that's some good news for us. So, what is a healthy diet? So, I'm sure I've asked that question in our temperature check. If I go around this room, everybody will have a different understanding, or a different healthy diet will mean different things to different people. But let's see what the experts say. Yeah, we'll see what that means in the next subsequent slides. So getting plenty on your plate, lots of fruits and vegetables. Why is that important? Because they are micronutrients. They contain the nutrients that phytonutrients and vitamins, minerals that support that balance of your hormonal levels, and also proper maintenance and repair of the body. And then you can see the yellow bit is your oil and spread. So that's the portion. So this is your plate. This is the portion of oil or fat that you need in your plate. And the recommendation is to go for unsaturated oil like your olive oil, your rapeseed oil, sunflower oil, and you want to keep away from things like margarine, butter, and coconut oil. You know, the saturated fats that increases your LDL, that's the bad cholesterol. So that's about the oil on your plate, and then the blue bit is your dairy and alternatives. Again, your cheese, yogurt, milk. You want to focus on the low sugar and the low fat. Yeah, low sugar and the low fat ones options. And then your pink bit, your pink section is your protein. So you want to vary. Actually, yesterday was varying your protein. So on your plate, you want to have a combination of both plants, different plant proteins like chickpeas, lentils, and the rest of them that are sold pulses, you know, and your lean meat, chicken, fish, eggs, and alternatives. And the recommendation also is to ensure that you get at least 2 servings of oily fish a week. I'm not sure how many people do that, but that's the recommendation. And the good thing is, there's a reason for all of this, and we'll get into that. So this is basically all that you should be, or what you should have on your plate for each meal. That's the recommendation. And today is staying hydrated. Fill up from the tap. Drink lots of water. Water is life. So the recommendation is to drink 6 to 8 glasses of water. But again, this is dependent on so many factors. You know, if you're very active, 6 to 8 glasses would not be enough. So drink up more. And even things like unsweetened fruits, unsweetened drinks, tea, coffee, and 150 ml of juice, they all count towards staying hydrated, because I know some people struggle with taking water. But yeah, outside your place is your discretionary foods, because the guideline recognizes, or this model recognizes the importance of balance. So your discretionary foods like your chips, your chocolates, and your sweeties, ice cream, they don't provide any nutritional needs, but that's not to say that you can't have them once in a while. Yes, once in a while. Yeah, so next slide please. Diet and bone health. So just before I go in, can anyone shout out just very quickly any food type that can give you, a source of calcium? Mushroom, yeah? Spinach. Green pepper? Milk, yeah? Yeah. So let's see the next slide please. So calcium intake. So why is that important? Calcium is very important. In fact, there's 2 key vitamins. We're going to focus on these 2 that's recommended for adults, between that, especially within the middle adulthood, like the likes of us here. Your calcium and vitamin D. Anything you do not skip that. Make sure you're getting enough of that. Why? Because it supports healthy bone density, healthy nerves and muscles, and reduces your risk to knee problems, osteoporosis, arthritis. So that's why calcium is important. So you can see that for every segment within the Eat Well guide has a reason, provides something. So everything on that plate brings something to the table. So when you're eating, you have to have that. The idea is to have a very selfish relationship with food at this stage. What's in it for me? What does that, and it's not bad because you're looking after yourself. And the sources, again, we've talked about it previously, dairy, and these are the dairy sources. Cheese, low fat, milk, and again, lower fat and lower sugar options. Next slide, please. Yeah, recognizing and acknowledging that there are people who have intolerances to dairy sources. So these are the non-dairy sources of calcium. So you have your fortified soya drink, fortified foods, and you can see the portion or the percentage of what it's going to give you. I forgot to mention the recommended daily intake for calcium is 700 milligram. 700 milligram a day. So if you know that in your head, and when you're making choices like what will this particular food, how close will it get to my daily need? For your fruits, vegetables, and seeds, you've got dried figs, curly kale, boiled, watercress, almonds, sesame seeds, all very important. But the one that shocked me most was seeing fish with soft bones like sardines and mackerel. I never knew this until I went to these trainings, and since then I've been stocked. I covered the stock with sardines and mackerel. So literally, it gives you almost half of your daily needs. That was 9%, which is fantastic for those of us who love fish. Next slide, please. Vitamin D intake. Why is that important? Helps to maintain strong bones and teeth, again like calcium, but more importantly, it helps to absorb calcium from your diet.
Choosing something, it's just like you've gone to the shop and you picked up the food type. So on this is table 1. So I'll shout at top fiber content. So amongst the staff, check how much fiber you've got on your. And the person with the highest number, ideally what we're looking for, something close to 30 grams. So table 1, table 2, table 3, table 4. Table 1, fiber, top fiber. Brilliant. Table 2? 0. Yeah, so we checked amongst yourself to see who's got the highest. So ideally, you chop up the food and tell us the